Hi everybody, I'm just going to do a quick little talk on about um, various issues that we as a country is facing, and I think it's just across the whole world. And it's one of depression, anxiety, and with the anxiety, depression, it's affecting a lot of people, more people than lots of people would seem to realize, and how it penetrates the whole fabric of our society, and how it leaves people some ways paralyzed in not knowing what to do, or if they do even acknowledge that they have some kind of issue with it, it's one of a stigma, and especially amongst men, and that should they do anything about it, should they say anything about it, will it affect their job, will people look down upon them? And it's a sad situation that we are so far into the 21st century, and there is still such a heavy stigma that having a mental health issue is something that is frowned upon in so many ways. And there's an article written by a guy named Joe Pinar, I hope I pronounced his name properly, from Champion Health. He's done a nice little article about depression in the UK for 2022, and it's interesting to read it. And there's been several articles and papers written on this, so it's more or less, they're more or less saying the same thing. And he goes into some interesting facts, and in that 1 in 6 adults in the UK are prevalent, they get some kind of form of depression and loneliness. And it's interesting to say that he says that women are twice as likely to get or have some form of depression than men. And he says, but however, 15% of women receive treatment compared to only 9% of men. So this is sort of telling me straight away that women recognize that there is an issue, there's a problem, and so they will seek out help more readily than men. And there is most like various reasons for that, but it's just very interesting that there's a more openness amongst women to trying to find help wherever they can, as opposed to men. Now, I'm not saying all men don't look for help, but it would seem by what he's writing and the various articles I've seen, there's a tendency for women to acknowledge that there is a potential problem and to seek help where they can. Now, again, he mentions quickly that there was still depression prior to the pandemic. Around about 70% of adults experienced some form of depression. December, summer of 2021, compared to just 10% before the pandemic. And it also affects the workplace quite significantly. And according to their research, what they've done for 2022, they have found that 52% of employees are experiencing some symptoms of depression. 61% of employees are experiencing depression are female, and 33% of employees are experiencing some kind of depression between the ages 25 to 34. And only 9% of employees are currently seeking medical support. And that leaves a lot of people vulnerable to the various stresses and strains that they go through in the workplace. Now, maybe a lot of workplaces don't have the necessary support and the facilities to cater for the help that maybe employees may need or have the understanding of what's happening. But I just like to just encourage people. There is help, and there is people, professional people, who are able to give help and support, and that you don't need to be walking this road by yourself. Now, whether you are a male or female or a young adult, again, you don't need to be walking down this road of having anxiety, depression, any form of social anxiety. We know it exists, and there are various things that can be put to use to help you and to get you well and give you the support and encouragement that you need. So don't feel like you're all by yourself and there's nobody there to give you the necessary support and encouragement outside of either the normal NHS or whatever. There's other support groups, other professionals who can give help, aid in whatever form necessary, just to give you the understanding that you're not by yourself. And there's so many people I've come across who feel like they're all by themselves. They haven't got the help that they require. They're thinking it costs a lot of money, and sometimes there is a cost factor involved, and sometimes it just needs time to get things in place. But understand that there are groups, people, individuals who are able to help you come through this situation as well. So, that seeing this report, it shows you, seemingly, that even from ages 16 to 24, there's a pretty high rate of anxiety, depression, around about 15%. But from this article, what I'm reading, and it tapers off once you reach around about 45. It starts to drop, but the height is around about between the ages 25 to 34. That seems to be the high point, and it starts to taper off down to the mid 55s. It's dropping down there. So again, don't feel like, and a lot of people do feel like there's nobody there to support them, but there are, and it's a question of you just maybe asking around and seeing that there are people who are willing to help and who care for what happens with your mental health situation. Again, the interesting thing is this: male and female who view the difference of seeking mental health support. And employees said males, 25% of males are prepared to look for support, and females 74%. So that really points out that the females are more actively looking for some kind of support and help, as opposed to the men who tended not to do that. And you're not saying that no men do that, but it's a very low percentage compared to the female. So it's a challenging situation that we are, times that we're in. Many things are moving quickly. Work environments are changing. Jobs that were once before thought to be secure are no longer secure. They're being automated in various ways, and some jobs are also becoming redundant because they're no longer needed as we move into a more technological age that we are living in. So, but again, I just want to put it out there that, if you do have some kind of mental challenges, disorder, you don't need to be walking by yourself. There's help there, and you can get support needed. So this is just to make you aware and just to encourage you that, you may be in a difficult space a dark time at the moment, but there is hope, and that you yourself can see light at the end of the tunnel. So just there to encourage you. And again, if you would like any help from myself, there's a link down below. And at the moment, there is offering 4 half-an-hour sessions for the next month or so. So if you would like to avail yourself there, there's the link, click on it, book yourself in, and we can take it from there. But we know of friends and family who may be going for a similar situation. So be a friend and be a place of encouragement. So I hope this is of help to some people, and take care now.